Yoga's become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food. And everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your consciousness. When you're practicing authentic yoga, you're working with an independent intelligence, a science to awaken the inner potential energy within you. When you add your own twist to yoga, it changes this internal process and brings a different effect on your physiology, psychology, and neurology. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the original source of yoga has been lost, and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their context have completely disappeared from the mainstream practice. In today's world, even though the technology has improved tremendously, one of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem that humanity is facing, is feeling disconnected from themselves, from one another, and from nature and life around them. People desperately attempt to experience connection through various ways: physical union or sex, dependence to drugs and foods, or through the internet. But unfortunately, none of these paths lead to the true connection that we're seeking. Connection is actually not what is being sought. It is actually union that humanity is seeking in so many wrong directions. Union with the ultimate is the true solution. Yoga is the only way to experience union with the ultimate. It is the path to anti-sex, to go beyond sex and experience union with all the other dimensions of ourselves and the universe. His Divine Holiness, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, is a born yogi. He's a living incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism. He has taken birth to bring back the context and authenticate the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. A large component of this lifestyle is yoga. Through Nithyananda Yoga, he's bringing back the authentic yoga, gifting to humanity the very science that has been lost, allowing individuals to experience the powers, state, and space of the divine.
என் பேர் சுப்பிரமணியன், கிருத்திக மண்டலம் சி சுப்பிரமணியன், திருவண்ணாமலை அருணாச்சல தேவஸ்தானம், கிருத்திக மண்டலம் 1973 இருந்து 2012 வரைக்கும் அண்ணாமலையார் இருக்குது அந்த பூ கட்டினேன் கிருத்திக மண்டபத்தில். 60 ரூபா சம்பளத்துலேருந்து 14,000 ரூபா சம்பளம் நான் வேலை இருந்தேன். நான் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஆகிட்டேன். ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஆன பிற்பாடு அந்த எங்கள் பையன் பூ கட்டுறான் அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு. அஞ்சே முக்காவுக்கெல்லாம் ரகுபதி யோகி வருவார். 5:45 வருவார். அந்த இடத்த பெருக்கி தண்ணி முன்னாந்து தெளிப்பார். தண்ணி முன்னாந்து தெளித்து அந்த மண்டபத்தெல்லாம் தண்ணி தெளிச்சிட்டு லேசாக பெருக்கிட்டு வாசப்படி தண்ணி தெளிப்பார். தெளிச்சிட்டு பெருக்கிட்டு உட்காருவார். உட்காந்து பிற்பாடு இவங்கெல்லாம் வருவாங்க. இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்த பிற்பாடு யோகாசனம் கற்றுக் கொடுப்பார். கற்றுக் கொடுத்தாருன்னா சுவாமி நித்யானந்த சுவாமி அவங்க அண்ணன் சிந்தியில் அண்ணாண்ட அவங்க கூட ஒரு சம்பத்து. அது பிற்பாடு மிச்ச பேர் வளைகாத்திலிருந்து நாராயணசாமி, அண்ணாண்ட ஆறுமுகம், அண்ணாண்ட முனுசாமி, அண்ணாண்ட கண்ணு, அவங்கெல்லாம் ஒரு 10 பேர் வருவாங்க. சாமி நித்யானந்த சாமி குரங்கு மாதிரி ஏறுவார். தூணில் கீழ் மேல் தான் ஏறுவார். மேலே கீழே ஏறி அது கத்துவார். இது மாதிரி சத்தம் போடுவார். ஊழம் விடுவார். ரகுபதி யோகி கற்றுக் கொடுப்பார். இப்படி போ அப்படி போன்னு உதுவார். ரகுபதி யோகி அந்த சுவாமி சுப்பிரமணியர் உட்கார மேடையில் இப்படி அந்த ரகத்தில் மாதிரி ஒரு 4 வருடம் அப்படி தூக்குவார். இப்படி உட்காருவார். சப்பலாமல் போட்டு உட்காந்து அப்படியே தூக்குவார். ஜம்ப் பண்ணி தூக்குற மாதிரி அந்த ரகத்தில் ஏறி அந்த ரகத்தில் உட்காந்து 4 நிமிஷம் 3 நிமிஷம் அப்படியே அழுக்காக இருப்பார். அவர் யோகாசனம் கற்றுதான் அப்படி ரகுபதி யோகத்து இருந்தார். அந்த மண்டபத்தில் மேடை சுப்பிரமணியர் மேடையில் தான் உட்காந்து கற்றுக்கிட்டு நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். நித்யானந்த சுவாமி அந்த கிருத்திகை மண்டபம் தூணில் ஒரு தூண்டை ஏறாத தூண் கிடையாது. அந்த 36 தூண், அந்த தூணில் ஏறாத தூண் கிடையாது. 4 தூண் தான் அந்த பக்கம் ஏற முடியாது. 4 சிறு வச்சிருக்கல. இது பூராமே ஏறுவார், பயிற்சி பண்ணுவார். தலைக்கே இப்படி கீழ்ந்து மேல்ந்து தான் ஏறுவார். இப்படி கொம்பு பார்த்த அந்த பொம்மைகளை பிடிச்சி ஏறுவார். பொம்மையில பிடிச்சி ஏறி நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். சுற்றி பூஞ்செடி இருக்கும், அதுக்கு வந்து துளசி செடி இருக்கும், அந்த இந்த நஞ்சாவட்டம் செடி இருக்கும். அதுக்கெல்லாம் தண்ணி கொண்டு ஊற்றுவாங்க. தொட்டியிலேருந்து கொண்டு ஊற்றிட்டு நாகலிங்க மரத்துக்கு தண்ணி ஊற்றுவாங்க. நாகலிங்க மரத்தில் இருந்து புஷ்பத்தை எடுத்து முருகருக்கு வைப்பாங்க. நாகலிங்க மரத்தில் ஏறி பூ எடுத்து முருகருக்கு வைப்பாங்க. மணி 7:45 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் மணி 7:45 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் 7:45க்கெல்லாம் 8 ஆகாட்டி பள்ளிக்கூடம் கன்னியாகுமரி போய் பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கு வீட்டுக்கு போய் அப்புறம் பள்ளிக்கூடம் போயிடுவாங்க. நித்தியப்படி தினந்தோறும் அவங்க வந்து 5:45 6க்கெல்லாம் அந்த மண்டபத்தை வந்து ஆயிடுவாங்க. மண்டபத்தை வந்து தாக்கலாடாத நாளே கிடையாது. ஒரு நாளில் பேரா மழை பெஞ்சாலும் அவங்க வருவாங்க. வராத நாள் இல்லை. என்ன மழை பெஞ்சாலும் அவங்க வருவாங்க. வந்து யோகாசனம் கற்றுக்கணும். சுவாமியை பார்க்கும்போது பார்த்தா அண்ணாமலையார் உள்ள பார்த்த மாதிரி தான் அவருக்கு தெரியும். அதில் ஒன்றும் சந்தேகம் கிடையாது. சுவாமி
என் பேர் பிரேமாவதி. அவர் பர்மாவிலேருந்து வந்தார். வந்து இங்கே வேலூரில் கல்யாணம் ஆச்சு. பேங்க்கில் இருந்தார். அப்புறம் அங்கங்கே மாற்றிட்டே வந்தோம். திருவண்ணாமலை வந்து சேர்ந்தோம் நாங்கள். தம்பி வருவார், சாமி வருவார் வீட்டுக்கு டெய்லி. 2 மணி நேரம் உட்காந்துட்டு இருப்பார். உட்காந்துட்டு எழுதி இவர் கூட போயிடுவார். கோவிலில் போய் யோகாலாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்துக்குன்னு அவர் பாட்டுக்கு அவர் போயிடுவார். இவர் பாட்டுக்கு இவர் வந்துடுவார். கோவிலில் போய் செய்வார். அப்புறம் அவங்க டெய்லி பண்ணிகிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. டெய்லி வருவார் சாமி. ஒன்று கூட சாப்பிட மாட்டார், கொடுத்தா கூட சாப்பிட மாட்டார்.
நமஸ்காரம். நான் திரு ரகுபதி யோகிராஜ் பி. ரகுபதி அவர்களின் மகனாகிய பூபதி பேசுகிறேன். எனது தாயார் இப்பொழுது உரையாற்றினார். நமது நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் அவர்களை பற்றி நிறைய இருக்கிறது சொல்வதற்கு. நான் சிறு வயதில் இருந்த பொழுது என் தந்தையாருடன் இருந்த நிகழ்வுகள் எல்லாம் எனக்கு இப்பொழுது ஞாபகத்தில் இருக்கிறது. அதை உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்கிறேன். என் தந்தையார் இருக்கும் பொழுது அவர் கிருத்திகா மண்டபம்னு 1000 மண்டபத்தில் பக்கத்தில் உள்ள கிருத்திகா மண்டபம்னு கோவில் இருக்குது. அந்த மண்டபத்தில் போயிட்டு யோகா நடத்துவார். யோகா சொல்லி கொடுக்கும்போது நம்ம நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் அப்பொழுது சிறு வயது சிறுவன். அவர் வீட்டுக்கு வருவார். அம்மாவிடம் கேட்பார், குருஜி இருக்கிறாரா அப்படின்ட்டு. அம்மா என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, அப்பா தூங்கின்னு இருக்காருப்பா அப்படின்வார். அவர் நேராக போவார். அப்பா பக்கத்தில் போய் தலைமாட்டில் உட்காந்துட்டு எப்போ முழிக்கிறாரோ அது வரைக்கும் அவர் பாட்டுக்கு உட்காந்துட்டுருப்பார். அப்புறம் அப்பா கண்ணு விழித்த உடனே 2 பேரும் எழுந்திரிச்சு அப்பா ஸ்நானம் செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு அவரை கூட்டிக்கிட்டு யோகா கிளாஸுக்கு போவாங்க. அப்பா சொல்லுவார், டேய் இதோ வந்திருக்கிறார் தம்பி, இந்த தம்பியை பாரு, இந்த தம்பி பின்னால் எவ்வளோ பெரிய மகானாக போகிறாரு, உலகம் அறியற அளவுக்கு போவாரா, உலகத்தையே காக்கக்கூடியவராகவும் செய்வார், அவருக்கு அவ்வளோ ஞானம் இருக்குடா அப்படின்ட்டு அவர் அப்போ சொன்னார். இப்போ உனக்கு தெரியாது, நீ பின்னாடி நான் இறந்த பிறகு என்னுடைய மறைவுக்கு பிறகு தான் உனக்கு எல்லாமே தெரியும் அப்படின்னு அப்பா சொல்லுவார். அப்பொழுது எனக்கு அவ்வளோவாக தெளிவு இல்லை. இப்பொழுது நான் அதை உணர்கிறேன். ஒரு தோல் இருக்கும், அந்த மான் தோல். அந்த மான் தோலில் நடுராத்திரியில் அப்பா தியானம் பண்ணுவார். கண்ணை மூடிட்டு தியானம் பண்ணுவார். சில நேரத்தில் அந்த மானுத்தோலுக்கு மேலேயே கொஞ்சம் எழும்பி உட்காந்து தியானம் பண்ணுவார் அப்பா. அப்படி பண்ணும்போது நான் பார்த்துருக்குறேன். அந்த கண்கூட பார்த்ததில் ஒரே ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி, ஒரு நாள் இரவு நான் படுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன், பக்கத்து அறை, அந்த அறையில் அப்பா தியானம் பண்ணின்னு இருக்கிறார். திடீர்னு கண் விழிப்பு வந்தது. கண் விழிப்பு வந்தால் சின்ன லேம்ப்பு எங்கள் வீட்டில், அதாவது நைட் லேம்ப்பு, அந்த நைட் லேம்ப்பு சின்னதை வச்சுருப்போம். அந்த லேம்ப் ஒளி தான் இருக்குது, வேறு எந்த ஒளியும் இல்லை. அந்த ஒளி என்ன ஹால் ஃபுல்லாக பரவி இருக்கும். அப்போது அப்பாவை நான் பார்க்குறேன். அப்பா வந்து தரையிலேருந்து ஒரு அரை அடி ஸ்கேல் இருக்கும் இல்லைங்களா, அந்த அளவுக்கு உயரத்தில் நின்றுக்கிட்டு உட்காந்துட்டு தியானம் பண்ணுறார். நான் ரொம்ப பயந்துட்டேன். ஐயோ அப்பாவா இப்படி பண்ணுறாரு, ஐயோ நம்ம எப்படி, ஒரு மாதிரி ஷிவரிங் ஆகிடுது. சரின்னு பயத்துலேயே அம்மா கிட்ட போய் ஒதுங்கிட்டு கம்முன்னு படுத்துட்டேன். நான் திருப்பத்தூரில் ஒரு ஸ்கூலில் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். அப்போ என் ஃப்ரெண்டு வந்து விடுதி, பெங்களூரில் இருக்கிறவங்க விடுதி, அந்த விடுதி ஆசிரமத்தில் அவர் இருந்திருக்கார். அவர் இருக்கும்போது என் ஃப்ரெண்டு போயிருக்கிறார். அந்த விடுதி ஆசிரமத்தில் என் தந்தையுடைய ஃபோட்டோ, நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் இவங்களெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு வந்து என்கிட்ட வந்து பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தார். எப்படி தெரியும்னு, இல்லை அவர் எங்கள் அப்பா கிட்ட குருவா, என் தந்தையாரிடம் இந்த அப்பா கிட்ட வீட்டுக்கு வந்து யோகாலாம் கற்றுக்கிட்டு போனவர் தான், இப்போ பெரிய மகானாக இருக்கிறாரு அப்படின்னோடனே, நீ என்ன நீ இவ்வளோ அசால்ட்டாக பேசுகிற? அவர் சொல்கிறார். என் ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கு அப்போ தான் உரைக்குது எனக்கு மனசுக்கு, அது வரைக்கும் எனக்கு உரைக்கல.
You all are officially amazing.
Nithyanandam, everybody. Welcome to KAILASA's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022. We're celebrating by playing a little game of catch. My name is Sri Nithyananda Maharaj. I'll be the Acharya for this evening. Right now I'm playing catch with one of the blessed Bala sons of Nithyananda Gurukul, Sri Nitya Shiva Shankara Maharaj. Maharaj, you're blindfolded, right?
Yeah.
So, how are you able to see this ball?
So just before some time, I just connected with Swamiji, just remembering him for some time. And then I close my eyes, I first see everything black out. And then when I chant the Mahavakya, I see the ball, I see the hand, I see like you are throwing in one hand.
So if I put my hand out here.
Yeah, it's your left hand.
And then if I want you to throw the ball to my hand over here.
Yeah, it's the right hand.
Okay. And so this is what you're looking through the third eye?
Yes.
Okay. And how did that happen? When did that first start happening?
Swamiji initiated me at 2015.
Okay.
And that's the time he brought the science of third eye awakening to the globe and initiated the balasans.
Okay. Okay.
And then for me it started like pictures, colors, and then it goes about 1.5 weeks it took for me to manifest the power.
Okay. Okay. And so this was Swamiji's initiation.
Yeah.
Really, ultimately.
Ultimately, it's Swamiji's initiation. But if any of the incompletions or like Swamiji's ultimate thing is making it happen. I don't do anything in this. I just play, and I'm just a channel for him to flow through.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. And so, what does this have to do with yoga today?
For yoga, this is like one of the components where you can manifest powers. When you have a yogic body, you have a Vedic mind, you manifest the powers of Paramashiva. And then when you have a Vedic mind, obviously you have a yogic body inside yourself.
Well said, well said. Well, what we'll do is we'll show a little bit more of what Swamiji's offered to the world. And right now, we have a couple other products of the Nithyananda Gurukul and disciples of Swamiji that are going to be demonstrating another amazing feat, and that's the Shiva Stamba Yoga and the pole, or the rope yoga, Kundalini Raju Yoga. Yoga on the pole and the rope, nearly extinct, but thanks to Swamiji's revival of authentic yoga, Shiva Stamba Yoga and Kundalini Raju Yoga are now available on the planet, and we'll give you guys a live demonstration of that right now as well. We'll keep playing catch for a time being, though.
So how do you feel when I was throwing to you and you're catching?
How have I been feeling?
Yeah.
Is there?
So I can see you adjusting your armbands.
Yeah.
Last throw was just by miss.
I mean, at first you're like, how is this possible? And then eventually once you get to know Swamiji and you become his disciple and you get to experience what it means to live in Adi Kailasa and live his teachings,
yeah. So
you don't get surprised with much.
Yeah, I can tell you one word that Swamiji is like telling that he's here not to prove that he's God. Yeah, by manifesting these powers, he's trying to tell, or he's telling that every single one is God.
Yes. Okay, so I just got word that they're ready on the pole and the rope. So what we'll do is we're going to cut and show a quick demonstration of now the pole and the rope before we jump into the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama experience that we're going to have today. We're going to have a record-breaking experience of 308 asanas within 1 hour that's going to happen soon. So first, let's have a quick demonstration on the pole and the rope, and then we'll bring it back here to the Nityanandeshwara temple, okay?
You in you seeks the cosmic you and makes the cosmic you manifest through me for the you in you.
If you have been blessed to hear the ultimate and you have a real hard time to understand it, trying to wrap your head around yet you can't make it, Haritaki, Haritaki Rumba. If your anger is as vast as the world and it's hard to conceal it with pearls, take this powder, it'll make you swirl. Haritaki, Haritaki, Haritaki is my secret little tip for you. This powder is all you have to do. 1, 2, or 3, or 4. No more anger for you anymore. Don't be boiling inside. Drop the dream of Bonnie and Clyde. No need to wish you conquered El Toro. Just decide to bake the couch potato. Listen if you feel dull inside. This powder will bring you back to life. Increase the oxygen inside of your body and remove the toxins from your tummy. If you have been blessed to hear the ultimate and you have a real hard time to understand it, try to wrap your head around yet you can't make it. Haritaki, Haritaki Rumba. Whoa, one spoon, one go. Shiv. Know that anger arises in the stomach, and if you want to heal it before it goes public, really consider this offer I'm making you. I swear Haritaki is for you. Might have been born Hindu or might not. Might be a peace lover or might have fought. Might have devotion or might have blood. We'll hear you stand in front of your Mahanad. I repeat, you stand in front of great truth. Everything you see is projection of you. Now you might tell, what the hell does it mean? Well, I'ma tell you, I really know what you need. If you feel stuck in a pattern, do the completion, don't do the U-turn. Increase the oxygen inside of your body and remove the toxins from your tummy. Listen if your anger is as vast as the world and it's hard to conceal it with pearls. Take this powder, it'll make you swirl. Haritaki, Haritaki Rumba. Whoa, one spoon, one go, one swallow, one flow. Shiv. You just need a clean stomach. Enlightenment swinging in a hammock. So surreal like fairy tales and comics, but with a clean stomach you can climb all summits.
Trust me on this, Haritaki will best with the bliss. Ayurveda and all its doctors tell this powder will remove all your monsters.
Once you take it, stomach will shake it, and all the little monsters will say screw it. Run away, me no wanna stay here no more. If I stay, I'll be gone, that's for sure. Listen if your bliss is beyond this world and it can't be improved with pearls. Truth, this powder made you swirl. Haritaki, Haritaki Rumba.
You in you.
Everybody. And we're back here with yet another disciple of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, here with Sri Nitya Sarveshwara Maharaj. Thank you so much for being here today. We're bringing him here to share a little bit about your experience, not just with Nityananda Yoga, but maybe your yoga experience before that, and then also what we're going to be experiencing today, the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 asana sequence that has just been revealed to the world, or going to be revealed to the world publicly for the first time. And so thank you so much for being here, quickly sharing your story before we jump into everything. And what is your background with yoga in particular, just so people can have an understanding of where you're coming from?
Yes, thank you, Dhrita Maharaj. So initially I started yoga mainly because of health issues, something related to back, and also because of working very long hours in the computer, different kind of body problems. So yoga was just a way to align my health to the basic fitness which everybody would expect, and all of us know the amazing benefits of yoga. Initially I never even thought about those things, so that's how I really started.
Okay.
And I got to learn yoga from various masters, from various people back my Purvashram, and what I learned during that time, even during my university, just with friends casually practicing, we would do like some 10, 20, 30 asanas, 1 hour is over. That was my introduction to yoga.
And today we have a new sequence being released of 308 asanas, which is almost mind-blowing. But before this, we've had the Pratama Vinyasa Krama revealed, which is the 108 asana sequence revealed by Swamiji, which that in itself is just mind-blowing. 108 asanas to perform in 90 minutes itself was like, how is that possible? And obviously today we're going to the next level. But what has the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the 108 asana sequence, been like for you?
So first, when I started with Pratham Vinyasa Krama, the PVK, 108 asanas to finish in 1 hour, 1.5 hours, that seemed a bit of challenge by itself, and the fact that we were able to do it itself, it seemed too good to be true.
Yeah.
I mean, that really felt for a good long time, for maybe many months, that we can actually do so many asanas in so less time. It seemed too good to be true. And especially given the bandhas, the mudras, the visualizations, the japa, and the asanas, and the whole thing, even how you dress, you do the achamaniyam first, you do everything put together. When you visualize and participate in all the 12 components, I literally felt if you could do all the 12 components of yoga in PVK itself, Prathama Vinyasa Krama itself, you are enlightened. I don't think it is possible for anybody to do all the 12 components, and if they are doing it, I am very sure they are enlightened. So that itself was something big. And especially the chanting, you have to do the chanting also, you have to do the japa also, then you have to do the visualization also, you have to perform the actual asanam also. And if you are on top of that, the acharya conducting a class for a couple of people, then you have to watch that each and every person is doing correctly also. So which is a completely different level altogether, I must say. So the Prathama Vinyasa Krama itself was a huge breakthrough to finish in 1.5 hours, I should say.
And then again, today, Swamiji is revealing to the world the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 asana sequence. We're going to be going for a record in this attempt to perform 308 asanas, the most asanas performed in 1 hour, traditional asanas, because let's not forget, every asana, we have the original source scripture, thanks to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and we're going for 308 postures in 1 hour. How is this possible? What is your take on this? And what's your experience been like? Because we're the blessed few that have actually been able to practice this sequence before today's public release.
That's a very good question. A few days ago, I was speaking to one of the devotees, and he was actually discussing that he really wants to be regular in his yoga practice and puja practice. I said, hey, Prathama Vinyasa Krama you can finish in 20 minutes. He said, what? I said, we are doing DVK, we are doing Dvitya Vinyasa Krama in 1 hour. He said, what? So at that moment I realized, oh my God, so we have gone a long way and we don't realize that maybe for, even the people who have been practicing PVK for years together, even for them to comprehend doing 308 asanas in 1 hour is too much. Frankly speaking, I could see that we could do 300 asanas in 1 hour, and but to be able to do so quickly, I thought it will take us a week or two to get to that pace. But almost immediately, all the Adinavasis, all the Gurukul Balasans, we were able to make it happen as a group, and all of us were able to do 308 asanas in 1 hour. That is, I think, something even we have to we need to catch up to, because we have been practicing for so long because of Swamiji's, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's relentless and micromanagement of our health, that he ensures that we are regular in this. That is why we are able to do, and we are seeing the fruits, and I think even we need to catch up with that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. One last question before we take off into our next segment. For those that are sitting at home, they never performed the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, 308 asanas. Maybe they've got a bit of a history with the PVK. What can you let them know? Any insights, any tips for what's going to be revealed today, or anything that they may or should be ready to experience?
Yes. So, Dvitya Vinyasa Krama is PVK plus around 200 asanas. So PVK is a very much part of DVK, so that is 1/3 of it. So you get the complete benefit of PVK, and then the focus, I should say, in Dvitya Vinyasa Krama is on those postures, on those asanas which you might have not completely experienced during the PVK, especially on the back, and I should add the shoulders and few stretches of the legs. And of course, coupled with the bandhas, the mudras, the effect it has on the nadis, on the chakras, that component is something beyond words. But even for the general body, your whole body, I feel like I didn't even know that these parts of the bodies can be stretched in these ways, to put it very honestly. And I discovered there is a lot more things we need to explore in our body to manifest through our body, and I could see how it will manifest as health in my day-to-day life. And very simple things. I feel a very fundamental benefit that these asanas are going to make my body live long with Swamiji, because Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has declared he will live 200 years. So I see if all of us are able to do the PVK, DVK, and of course after that there is Tritiya Vinyasa Krama and there is a Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama, which will all add up to 1008 yoga asanas. I don't know, it will take 2 hours, 3 hours. Once, I think, when we master all of this, it's surely taking us to the path of living 100 plus years, definitely, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So that is what my feeling is looking at the DVK itself, and it gives me a lot of optimism towards a healthy body and life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for these sharings. And as you had mentioned, the Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, the 508 asana sequence, is also being released today. We're just not going for that record within 1 hour. Maybe we'll have to have a super conscious breakthrough to experience that. But as you have seen in the various different camera angles, we're having an amazing time here celebrating International Day of Yoga. Looking forward to get on the mat, not only with you, but with all the participants at home and everybody else that is joining in. And so we're going to take a quick break, and with this, please get ready, because we are going to be settling onto the mat and experiencing this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So thank you, and we'll be back shortly. Nithyananda. Presenting Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022, the most authentic yoga celebration on International Yoga Day. Join us online for this full-day yoga festival, directly from the original source scriptures, June 21st from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Experience more than 12 hours of free yoga sessions on yoga, meditation, pranayama, and revelations from scriptures dated thousands of years before Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Join various enlightened talks, discussions, and seminars from Third Eye Awakened yogis, all under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the born yogi and avatar, whose mission is to revive and re-gift to the world the various authentic yoga sciences. Experience the profound Kriya techniques that completely detoxify the body, lift you out of depression, and awaken your Kundalini. Special seminars in how to begin an authentic yoga class, which way your body should face, what should be applied to your body, and the mantras to chant before you begin. Participate in yet another opportunity for a world record, and the grand finale of the day's events, join the inaugural Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama yoga class, the 308 yoga asana sequence of traditional postures, and be one of the first to download the Nithyananda Yoga Paddhati, which includes the 108, 308, and 508 asana sequences, how to perform them, along with each of their 12 components. Enjoy this full-day yoga. Yoga's become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food, and everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your consciousness. When you're practicing authentic yoga, you're working with an independent intelligence, a science to awaken the inner potential energy within you. When you add your own twist to yoga, it changes this internal process and brings a different effect on your physiology, psychology, and neurology. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the original source of yoga has been lost, and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their context have completely disappeared from the mainstream practice. In today's world, even though the technology has improved tremendously, one of the biggest problems if not the biggest problem that humanity is facing, is feeling disconnected from themselves, from one another, and from nature and life around them. People desperately attempt to experience connection through various ways: physical union or sex, dependence to drugs and foods, or through the internet. But unfortunately, none of these paths lead to the true connection that we're seeking. Connection is actually not what is being sought. It is actually union that humanity is seeking in so many wrong directions. Union with the ultimate is the true solution. Yoga is the only way to experience union with the ultimate. It is the path to anti-sex, to go beyond sex and experience union with all the other dimensions of ourselves and the universe. His Divine Holiness, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, is a born yogi. He's a living incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism. He has taken birth to bring back the context and authenticate the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. A large component of this lifestyle is yoga. Through Nithyananda Yoga, he's bringing back the authentic yoga, gifting to humanity the very science that has been lost, allowing individuals to experience the powers, state, and space of the divine, Paramashiva. Nithyananda Yoga is based off of Shashtanga Yoga, not Ashtanga Yoga. Unlike the Ashtanga Yoga developed by Patanjali, Sadashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence and initiation of the Guru. Only then the Shashtanga Yoga starts. For the past several hundred years, the world has had to make do with lower levels of yogic practices. It is for this reason that despite millions of people practicing yogic techniques for years, we have yet to come across the beings who effortlessly radiate the exalted yogic state and powers of Paramashiva. After all, Paramashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence of a living avatar to initiate disciples into his lofty state and space. Hence, it wasn't until His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda revealed Nithyananda Yoga that the original form of yoga was revived. It is not about building or achieving a yogic state after years of practice. Instead, it begins from the state of Paramashiva, based on initiation from the avatar, to manifest the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva. Accordingly, His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda infuses so much of Paramashiva's energy in us through processes, techniques, and initiations that extraordinary possibilities naturally express through us. When His Divine Holiness transmits the highest conscious experience to us, we enjoy the experience and expression of Paramashiva, called Shaktis, as a lifestyle.
The energy of the divine gushes through the master into your system through as a powerful cognition. Understand? Cessation of the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha can never happen from there to here. It can happen only from here to there.
This authentic yoga has a backbone of 4 levels of yoga with 12 inbuilt components: the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, Tritya Vinyasa Krama, and Chaturtha Vinyasa sequences of Nithyananda Yoga. But Nithyananda Yoga doesn't stop there. His Divine Holiness is also revealing various other ancient dimensions of yoga that exist on the pole, rope, ground, water, air, and more. The revival of these authentic forms of yoga allows you to experience the anti-sex with Paramashiva, which is described in the sacred scriptures of Shashtanga Yoga. It literally guides one to a super conscious breakthrough. Then, only the true experience of yoga happens through the manifestation of the powers of Paramashiva. This is how authentic yoga is identified.
Understand? Yoga is nothing but union with the cosmos. It is so unfortunate The word union is very poorly mapped and understood just for physical sex. Please understand. Sex is poor man's version of union. When you don't know anything, you just do that. That's it. Union is rich man's version of sex. It is much beyond body. Biggest problem in the modern day.
Nithyanandam, everybody, welcome back to KAILASA's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022 on this International Day of Yoga, where we are celebrating the most authentic yoga celebration in the world today. As we have mentioned in previous segments, if you've been with us throughout the day as well, all the way from 8 a.m. until now, we've got 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's been 12 hours of authentic yoga, thanks to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And yes, today we are going to experience the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 Yoga Asana sequence. And it's a lot to handle, it's a lot to experience. It's a fun sequence, though, to say the least. And as always, before we begin every sequence, it's important to understand that this is a ritual of yoga. And the ritual of yoga, as revealed by Swamiji, has 12 components in total. So even if we're performing the asanas, there's still other components involved with each asana. And that is not just the mudras, bandhas, pranayamas. We'll dive into each one of those, as you can see on the screen. Maybe it's showing on the screen right now, but so we're going to quickly go over what these 12 components are, just so you're ready, mentally prepared, and then we'll dive into the sequence, okay? So, of course, the first component is the asanas, which we all know and love, the traditional yoga asanas, each of them coming with the original source scripture, whether it is Shastra Pramana coming directly from Paramashiva himself, or an Apta Pramana coming from the great sages, rishis, gurus, yogis that have come before us. And of course, we do have one Atma Pramana in there as well, with the beloved skeleton dance. If you don't know what that is, get ready to experience some fun with that one. But yes, we have the asanas as the first component. The second component is the mudras, the seals. And this isn't just something that is completed with the fingers. A lot of people think mudras are only with the hands. They are with the hands, but mudras also happen with the eyes. Shambhami mudra, for instance. You're gazing out, but you're eternally gazing within. Okay, and there's also some mudras that happen with the tongue, Kachari mudra, where you're pressing the tongue up against the roof of the mouth. And so just be aware of what those mudras are. We'll try and announce them out throughout the sequence as we're going through. The bandhas is another common component that a lot of people understand and know of. Make sure that you're sealing the perineal floor throughout the entire sequence. Imagine that you have this pot of water in your belly and it's just seeping out unless you squeeze those butt cheeks. You want to keep the apana vayu flowing within the system the whole time. And so that's why Mula Bandha is always engaged. And then we have the Jalandhara Bandha, tucking the chin down and then sucking the stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha. All three of them combined, Mahamudra Bandha. Okay, so look out for those words and do the best you can. The next component, the pranayamas. There's a lot of different pranayamas throughout the sequence, whether it's Shitkari Kumbhaka, pressing the tongue up against the roof of the mouth, or Brahmari Kumbhaka, a subtle buzzing like a bee sound. The important thing to remember with all of the pranayamas is they're actually all called kumbhakas, meaning after you inhale or exhale, you're holding the breath. So don't forget that component. When you're holding the breath and then you engage the bandhas, it's really taking your practice to the next level. After that, we have the karnas, another awesome touch by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with this revelation. The karnas, the sacred dance movements, where you're acknowledging and expressing the space of gratitude towards the divine when you're moving your body. When you're in that space and you're moving elegantly, you're moving consciously. And that's ultimately what we're here for. We're here to expand our consciousness and radiate Paramashivatva. And so look out for the karnas. There's a few sprinkled in there between the PVK and the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama as well. After that, we have the Aushadha. So if you do not know what Aushadha is, the alchemy products that Swamiji's revealed to the world, whether it's the Jnananjana, the sacred eyeliner that we put onto our third eye, or the kumkum that's placed on top of that, We have turmeric that's placed on either side of the temple, and the sandalwood paste. The most visible that you may see, though, is the baspa, or the vibhuti, the white sacred ash, and that's put on the 16 points of the body. Okay, so all the way from the wrist, elbows, shoulders, traps, forehead, neck, either side of the oblique, and one across the stomach and the chest. Okay. Oh, and a couple on the ears too. That would make 16. After that, we have the abarna. So if you see these earrings here, Sundaravanam earrings. They hang from the earring, or the ears, and there's 7 rudrakshas there, and that's really the key ingredient. It is the rudraksha, the energized beads, sacred abarna products, one also being on the neck. And so if you have your rudraksha kantamala, which is wearing it around the neck, and the sundaravanams, that's what the abarna is for these sequence today. Next, after that, if you can show the next slide. I know one of them is chanting, though. You're going to see, or you're going to see and hear, actually. We have 3 tantra darks here that are going to chant the pramana of each scriptural reference for every asana that we perform today. And so when those mantras are chanted, you're going to not only enjoy that experience, but the physical happening there, the metaphysical happening when the pramana is chanted. You don't need to worry about anything, but just be in that vibration, be in that space, okay? One thing you do need to focus on is the japa. And the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, that's the main japa in the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. You're doing your best to remember and have that circle in the throat center. And Sharbeshwar Maharaj mentioned before, if you're able to do all of these 12 things, you're enlightened. So don't feel down on yourself if you're not able to remember and perform all of these components of the sequence. But remember, the japa is the one thing that you're trying to internalize as far as mantras go. The mandala, the Sri chakra, that is what's used either above or below. Okay, so if you have a Sri chakra, the idea is to place that sacred mandala beneath you or above you. Okay, along with that is the visualization. One of the greatest components that it's kind of hard to believe that it hasn't yet been revealed to the world, but thanks to Swamiji, it is here and it is available. When you perform samyama, this is coming from the great sage, what many people know as the father of yoga, Patanjali. He says that when you perform samyama on any animal, like an elephant, for instance, you gain the strength and the qualities of that animal. So he used the example of a hasti, an elephant. But as mentioned earlier and today, if you are not yet aware of what the asana of the year is and the mission that Swamiji is standing for, the global hunger movement, we're trying to bring some light here in Sri Kailasa United Nations for Yoga to the power of visualization. That when you visualize yourself as a camel, for instance, you embody those qualities of a camel. You become more resilient in states of famine or periods without water. Okay, so the visualization, whether it's the gods, goddesses, insects, animals, Swamiji, every visualization throughout the sequence, we'll do our best to remind you what they are. You're embodying the state, space, being of those elements, okay? Some of them are just entities, but you're establishing and downloading that biomemory within you, okay? And then the final component is the weights. Optional in all sequences. It is a bit of a challenge to perform some of these sequences with weights involved. So don't worry if you don't have weights beside you today. The sequence is very quick today, so we're not going to have the weights as an option today until maybe our next level of superconscious breakthrough. But if you're performing the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, for instance, in a 90-minute segment, there's a lot of asanas in there that can really intensify when you incorporate those weights. And those are the 12 components to remember, to incorporate within today's sequence, and not just the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, but also the future Tritiya Vinyasa Krama. And so if you could show the next slide, please. Okay, and so just some important notes before we begin this record attempt. Today's assessment will be on performing each asana Not just performing each asana, but attempting each asana. Okay? So the first mental note is that you really need to always watch the demo person and then just try and simultaneously copy what they're doing. Okay? And that isn't necessarily, if you're not able to do a handstand, that's fine, but do it to the best of your ability, because if you are somebody that isn't able to perform a specific asana, that's fine, but you should still attempt, because if you can't put your leg behind the head, which happens a lot in the sequence, or let's say do the handstand, it matters that you attempt the posture today, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, so how the class is going to be taught today. Rather than repeating the pranayama, so there's one pranayama that happens throughout the entire period, or not the entire period, but a segment of the sequence. It won't be repeated. So at the beginning, we're breathing in samana kumbhaka, visualizing heat, flames raising up along the spine. And that happens for the first 8 or so or 10 or so asanas. So we won't re-mention the pranayama each time, as well as the bandhas. The bandha, always remember, seal the perennial floor. Every asana you should perform holding on to the bandha, okay? So that we won't mention that as well. And same thing for the various different visualizations and mudras, etc. If the visualization isn't mentioned, it is to visualize Swamiji, okay? Okay, and with this, we're going to welcome, we have various different guests of honor here coming to share this International Day of Yoga with Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we would love to acknowledge all of you that have showed and taken the time to be with us here today. First, we would like to honor and welcome the Honorable Mr. Navraj Dahal, Honorary Consul of Estonia to Nepal in Kathmandu, Nepal. We welcome you here, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We also have Baburam Kunwar, First Governor of Gandaki, the province, and former Attorney General for Nepal. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for being here today and celebrating International Day of Yoga. We have the Honorable Maheshwari Kunwar, former General Secretary, the Nepal Students' Union. We welcome you here, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. The Honorable Tara Pudel, thank you so much for being here with us as well today, the political leader, Nepali Congress Party in Nepal. The Honorable Narottam Baidya, Province Assembly Member in Nepal. Thank you so much for taking the time to celebrate this day with us. The Honorable Mr. Keshav Prasad Pokhrel, Province Assembly Member, Nepal. Thank you so much for being here. We welcome you, sir. The Honorable Mr. Kusum Kumar Karki, Province Assembly Member, Nepal. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. Hopefully you enjoy this upcoming event. Also, the Honorable Mr. Madhav Prasad Pudel, Province Assembly Member in Nepal. Thank you for being here with us. We honor you, sir. The Honorable Mr. Biraj Bhakt Shrestha, Province Assembly Member in Nepal as well. Thank you so much for being here with us, sir. Honorable Mr. Milan Vavu Shrestha, Province Assembly Member in Nepal. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today, celebrating International Day of Yoga. Also the Honorable Rakshita Tudawe, Executive Director, Durdan's Hospital in Sri Lanka. Thank you for being here with us today. Hopefully you enjoy the experience. Honorable Mr. Dilshan Kodutuaku, Executive Director at Serenia Limited in Sri Lanka. We honor you, sir. Thank you for being here with us. Honorable Dr. K.T. Sundareshan, Senior Lecturer, Department of Clinical Sciences, Honorary Consultant Physician, Teaching Hospital in Batticaloa, Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for being here with us today, sir. We honor you. And then the Honorable Miss Sita Devi Kandal, political leader, Nepal Communist Party in Nepal. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We honor you, ma'am. And Ms. Sulosh Pillay, Director of SKS Solutions, Global Goodwill, Ambassadors, Humanitarian, South Africa. Thank you so much for being here with us today as well, ma'am. Okay. And with this, we have one final segment before we jump into the sequence. And so if you're not yet ready to perform the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, maybe you need to quickly change or roll out your yoga mat, right now is the time to do so. We are about to begin. Exciting opportunity for not just us here in Adi Kailasa, for all of you joining us across the globe. Big opportunity for us to have another record set here by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. This is our grand celebration, the final touch of a full day for this International Day of Yoga, where we will be experiencing the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 asana sequence within only 60 minutes. So when you come back, or when we come back, make sure that you're ready to perform, and we will enjoy this all together on this grand day. Thank you so much, and looking forward to start this sequence. Nityananda.
Nithyanandam. Kailasa welcomes all of you to this grand celebration of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022 on the occasion of the International Day of Yoga. We welcome all the dignitaries gracing this event today. We welcome Shri Jaspreet Ji from the Asia Book of Records, who would be adjudicating today's record attempt during the grand finale, the performance of 308 yogasanas within 1 hour. Today, on the International Day of Yoga, when the whole world comes together to celebrate the gift of the ancient sacred science of yoga given to the entire humanity by Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Kailasa, the first nation for all Hindus, under the blessings and guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the ultimate manifestation, Paramavatara of Paramashiva, brings to you the Nithyananda Yoga Festival, celebrating the biggest breakthrough in the history of human evolution, introduced by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the superconscious mutation of the modern human DNA through Nithyananda Yoga, which is the revival of authentic yoga directly based on the revelations from Paramashiva in Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Yoga, not merely as stretching or healthy lifestyle, but as power manifestation. Yoga, not merely as stretching or healthy lifestyle, but as power manifestation itself, a powerful and potent method based on authentic and integrated ancient tradition of Yoga Sampradaya of Hinduism, prescribed by the Supreme Godhead, Paramashiva himself, to align the human DNA with the cosmic DNA and manifest Paramadvaita, the state, space, powers, being, and superconsciousness of Paramashiva. Today, here in Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagni Peetham, we take the next leap in this breakthrough with the introduction of the second and the third level of advanced sequences in Nithyananda Yoga Paddhati, namely Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, a set of 308 asanas, and Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, a set of 508 yogasanas. The palm leaf manuscripts of Nithyananda Yoga Paddhati with all the original Sanskrit verses from the scriptures forming the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama and Tritiya Vinyasa Krama will be offered at the feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, after which we will be having the grand finale of today's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022 on the International Day of Yoga. The performance of Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama by the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, here in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagni Peetham, attempting for the world record of 308 yogasanas ever performed within 1 hour. Without further ado, let us now inaugurate the Nithyananda Yoga, Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama and Tritiya Vinyasa Krama Paddhatis and offer them at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and seek his divine grace and blessings.
Okay.
तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः। सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि, रक्षां धारयामि।
Nithyanandam, and we are here ready to begin. If you are not yet on your yoga mat, now is the time. We are going to get this show on the road. Excited as we begin this yoga sequence, just as we do with every other Pratama, whether it's the Pratama Vinyasa Krama or any other Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga sequence. We will be performing the authentic beginnings of the ritual of yoga. First beginning with the Sadguru Vandanam, invoking the Master, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, with the Sadguru Vandanam. And let us enter into the ritual of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, Dvitya Vinyasa Krama. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasyadiraksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamacharam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. And next we'll chant the Shivamula mantra 11 times internally, the Shivamula mantra, Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. The scriptures say, as you're chanting this internally, the tongue should not touch the upper or lower parts of the mouth or the back of the teeth. So we will chant this internally 11 times, but we will hear our Tamtradharks chant this externally for us all to follow.
Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha.
Next we'll enter into the ritualistic cleansing, the Achamaniyam. Achamaniyam, you'll take your Panchapatram and Udarni of water. If you're a practicer of Nithyananda Yoga and you practice puja daily, you'll know the cup and spoon. This ritualistic cleansing will first begin sipping 3 times from the Panchapatram water, and we'll have our Tamtradharks guide us through chanting the mantra as you do so.
Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Svadha.
And then a second.
Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Svadha.
And a third.
Om Shivatattvam Shodhayami Svadha.
Then with the base of the thumb, wiping the upper and lower lip 2 times from right to left.
Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha.
Washing off the hand, and with the index, middle, ring finger touching just above the upper lip and the lower lip. Washing off your hand. With the index and thumb touching the right nostril and left nostril. Ring finger and thumb touching the right eye, right ear, and left ear. Washing off your hand. And then with the pinky and base of the thumb touching the navel, right chest, left chest, all 4 fingers, and the thumb touching the crown of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart center. And with this we'll enter into the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution. Why are we on our yoga mat today? Why are we here? What is the purpose? With every Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga ritual, it is to manifest the state, space, being, powers, the super consciousness of Paramashiva, manifesting Paramashivatva within us. And so in the Sankalpa, you take your right hand, you place it on top of your left, and place both hands on top of your right thigh. While you're here, you're holding the conscious resolution, the declaration of why you're here. So the mantra of this Sankalpa will be chanted by our Tamtradharks as we're here. Get into that meditative space to listen and invoke what it is that we're wanting to manifest, why we're moving our body today. So with this, we'll begin the Sankalpa.
Om Mamopata Samasta Duryakshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Shubhe Shobhane Muhurte Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararthe Shri Svetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvatamanvantare Ashtavinshaditame Nityayuge Prathame Pade Jambudvipe Bharatavarshhe Bharatakhande Meroho Dakshine Parshve Shakabde Asmin Vartamane Vyavaharike Prabhavadinam Shastyaha Samvatsaranam Madhye Shubhakritanama Samvatsare Uttarayane Lakshmi Venkateshwar Ritau
मिथुनमासे कृष्णपक्षे नवम्यां शुभदितौ अष्टम्यां शुभदितौ मंगलवासरयुक्तायाम् उत्तराभाद्रपदनक्षत्र आयुष्मन्योग कौलवकरण एवं गुणविशेषणविशिष्टायाम्
अस्यां शुभदितौ
श्री
कैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्री मीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समितिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिन्नकाहलादि समस्त विरडावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सत्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्रान जीमूत परमत कल्प केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज वाण्य महाराज गुरु शपन शाख्यादि महांतकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणा नरार ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामी नाम अवतारभूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान कत्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रहित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ गत्रे
साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत
कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम
तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं
गुरुकृपाकटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थम क्षेमस्थैर्य वीर विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थम समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थम भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम
श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव परिपूर्ण कृपाकटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं पूर्ण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानन्दयोगाभ्यासं करिष्ये अप उपस्पृश्य.
Good. And with this, taking one final udarni of water, washing off our hands, and placing your panchapatram to the side, out of harm's way, so not to be affected by any rollings that may be happening, which we know there is one happening in the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. If you've been practicing here in Sri Kailasa, Adi Kailasa, you'll know what we're talking about. But with this, excited to jump into the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. As a reminder, do the best you can. If you're performing the sequence for the first time, just try and follow along to the best of your ability. If you've been practicing the Pratama Vinyasa Krama before, we are going to be experiencing the PVK in 20 minutes is the goal. Then we got another 40 minutes for the remaining 200 asanas, okay? So we're going to shoot out of a cannon pretty quick here once we get started. Remember, incorporate all the mudras, bandhas, pranayamas as best you can. And make sure you stick with the sequence. You can see in the bottom right side of the corner there will be a picture, a diagram of each asana as what you see here in Sukhasana. Beginning part of the sequence, remember Samana Kumbhaka. Okay. And we will get started. Sitting with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Hands are in Bindu Mudra. Inhaling, Samana Kumbhaka. Tuck that chin down. Mahamudra Bandha. Sucking the stomach in and up as well. Visualizing Paramashiva in Sukhasana. Then releasing. Crossing the legs into Padmasana if you can. Raise the arms up above the head. Palms together. Suck the stomach in and up. Chin is tucked down. Visualize yourself as Mount Kailash, part of Uttasana. Then release the hands. Bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace or hold the left hand by the right. Lean forward and down. Gaze to the nose. Visualizing Swamiji in Hadi Pavasana. Then rise up. Extend the hands out in front of you. Hands are cupped as you lean forward and down. Visualizing snakes in your inner space. Nagi Pavasana. Then hold on to the big toes. Extend the feet out, up straight as best you can. Cross the legs into Padmasana, forward and down onto your elbows. Suck the stomach in and up. Tuck the chin down. Good. Then rise up. Uncross the legs. Place one foot on top of the other knee. Big circles with the arms. Gaze down towards the nose. All three bandhas engaged. Visualize Swamiji in Nityanasana. And then uncross the legs. Rise up onto the feet. Scooping down again and again. While you're here, visualize yourself as an elephant in Gajasana. And then alternate pressing the heels down, back and forth. Stomach is sucked in and up. Rikshasana. Visualize yourself as a bear as you rise up onto the tips of the toes. Index, middle, ring finger to the heart center. Vaisyasana. And then drop the heels down. Our first karna, not an asana, but a karna. Reaching the leg up towards the ceiling, gracefully moving the foot along with it. And then interlace the fingers from outside in. Hold on to the shin, pull it up towards the chest. Caress a baby here is the visualization in Baladangasana. Hold on to the top of the foot, pull it behind you. Tuck the chin down, Mahamudra Bandha and Padapidanasana. And then release. Hold on to the inside of the foot. Extend the leg out. Hand is in Bindu Mudra as best you can. Visualize yourself as Nataraja dancing in your third eye. Interlace the fingers outside in. Same thing other side. Holding on to the shin, pull it up towards the chest. All three bandhas engaged. Balalingasana. Hold on to the top of the foot. Pull it behind you. Feet are together. Knees together. All three bandhas engaged. Padapidanasana. Hold on to the inside of the foot. Kick back. Extend out. Find your drishti point. Visualize Nataraja dancing. And then release. Moving into our next karna. Heels are together. One foot comes behind then. Hands at the chest. Gracefully. Pendulum swing. That hand back and forth. And then finish touching the tip of the nose. Our skeleton dance. Shaking and dancing, but expressing and visualizing yourself as a skeleton structure and moving the body as intensely as you can. So those two things we're focusing on, shaking the body intensely and visualizing yourself as nothing but bones. Okay, from here, standing tall, next karna, heels together, feet slightly bladed out. Inhale to the left, exhale center. Inhale to the right, exhale center. Then coming into Tadasana, rise up on the tips of the toes, palms facing one another, tuck the chin down, visualize yourself as a palm tree in Tadasana. Then lean forward and down, Uttanasana, palms down, visualize Swamiji, tuck the chin down as well. Step back, tall plank position, tuck the chin, rotate side to side, Tadakshvasana. Then lower the chest down, untuck the toes. Inhale the mouth, with the mouth wide, visualize yourself as a cobra in Bhujangasana. Tuck the toes, rise yourself up. Alternate bringing the one knee in, again and again, in Ratasana. And then place one foot behind and jump back and forth, alternating feet. Ratasana here. Last one was Shashasana. Rising up though, bend that front knee. Twist the hips towards the front. Suck the stomach in and up. Gaze to the third eye. Visualizing Lord Virabhadra and Virabhadrasana. Then rise up, switching sides. Gaze to the third eye. Suck that stomach in and up. Virabhadrasana. Rise up. Bringing the right foot to the inner thigh as best you can. Palms together. Raise them up above the head. Suck the stomach in and up. Visualize yourself as a tree in Vrikshasana. Then release. Hold on to the foot. Pull it to the opposite hip. Garudasana. Hands in Namaskara Mudra. Heart center. And then release. Right foot down. Left foot up. Hands together. Then above. Stomach in and up. You're a tree. Release. Hold on to the foot. Opposite hip. Namaskara Mudra. You are Lord Garuda and Garudasana. Release. From the top of the mat, take one big step. Legs are straight, arms reach forward, down. Open up the chest, gaze towards the ceiling, Trikonasana, and then rise up. Nice and controlled. Alternate the directions of the feet. Lean forward, down, gaze up, Trikonasana. Rise up. Drag the feet together, heels set or touching. Raise up one foot, stomp it down. Alternating again and again. Our next Karna. And then from here, you're coming down onto the tips of the toes. Okay? Hands in Namaskara Mudra. Moving forward, Brahmari Kumbhaka, buzzing like a bee as best you can. Beginning Angushtasana. Then hands come down. Right foot forward. Palms facing forward. Visualizing Swamiji in Saurasana. Reach forward for the big toe. Prana Mudra, holding the big toe with the index and middle finger. Mudra bandhas engaged, Vidunanasana. Then step back. Switch sides. Left foot forward. Palms facing forward. And then release. Left hand comes to the big toe. Right hand to the back heel as best you can. Vidunanasana. And then release. Feet come together again. Gaze through the hole of the knees. Palms facing up in Brahmacharankushasana. And then let the knees come down. You're going to suck the stomach in and up as best you can. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Visualizing Sage Kapila Muni. Kapilasa. And then release that gaze. Switch it up to the third eye. Just Mula Bandha engaged. And then release, rising up onto the tips of the toes. Thumbs touching, pinkies touching. Raise the arms up, gaze through the gap in the palms. Visualizing Lord Surya in Suryasana, and then release down. You're going to bring the toes together, knees are down. From here, you're going to bring the tongue up, press it up against the roof of the mouth in Manduki Mudra. Visualize yourself as a frog in Mandukasana. Then raising the hands up above the head. Hold the head by the arms. Tongue is still pressed up. Gaze to the third eye. You're catching the nectar of immortality with that tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth in Uttana Mandukasana. And then bring the hands to the knees. Rise up so you can cross the feet. Inhale through the nose. Stick the tongue up. And gaze to the nose. Visualize yourself as a lion in Simhasana. Good. Then rise up. Uncross the legs. Yes. Cross the hands behind you. Hold on to the big toes. Bhadrasana. Tuck that chin down. Visualizing Swamiji. And then rise up. Onto the hands. And then you're reaching the arms in and around those legs as best you can. If you can clasp your hands, nicely done. That's what we're going for. And Kakabusandhyasana. Then plant the hands flat onto the ground. Arm balance here. Arms to the back of the arms. Knees to the backs of the arms. Holding here. Kani Pavasana. Then slowly lower the crown of the head. Okay, while you're here, visualize is a peacock in Parshvamayurasana on the other side. And then coming back. Okay, tall plank position. One foot in between the two hands. Toes are tucked down to the ground. Gaze up to the third eye. Bhairagadanta Asana. And then step back. Do the same thing other side. Visualizing Lord Kalabhairava here in Bhairagadanta Asana. And then step back. Elbows down. Hips stay up. Visualize Swamiji Unmukha. Rise up onto the hands. Rotate over onto the left. Elbows straight towards the ceiling. Visualize Sage Vashisthasana and Vashisthasana. Rotate over onto the other hand. Gaze up to the ceiling. Vashisthasana. And release. Come back to a neutral position. Legs are extended out in front of you. Hands come underneath the sitting bones. Elbows closer together. Heels slightly separated. Inhale. Tuck the chin down. Right Chakra Kumbhaka moving forward. Control that exhalation as you're gazing towards the nose, visualizing Hanuman in Anjani Asana. Then release. Reach for the big toes.
Hold them. Come forward and down. Paschimottanasana. All three bandhas engaged, visualizing Swamiji here. Then rise up right away. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Lean forward and down. Ugrasana. We're visualizing Kali in our inner space. The one who practices this manifests all the powers as you rise up. Bring the right foot to the inner groin. Reach the arm in and around. Clasp the hands. Forehead comes down. Visualize Sage Marichi and Marichiasana. Then release. Knee comes out to the side. Mahamudrasana. Reach for the toes. Inhale. All three bandhas engaged. Mahamudra Bandha. Visualize Swamiji and then release. Right leg out. Left leg in. Reach the arm around. Clasp. Head down and then release. Knee comes out to the side. Mahamudrasana on the other side. Reach for those toes. Tuck the chin down. Do the best you can. All three bandhas and then release. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Interlace the fingers around the toes. Okay, pull the knees down using the strength of your groin. Bhadrasana 2, visualize Swamiji as you gaze to the third eye. Then release the foot. His toes are together. Heels separate. Hands on top of the knees. Tuck the chin down. Gvali Pavasana. And then release. Bring the feet back in. Heels close to the body. Interlace the fingers around the toes. Lean forward and down. Elbows come down towards the ground. Gaze to the nose. Visualize the Yoni Mandala in Yoni Asana. And then rise up. Release the hands, keep the feet together, lean forward and down, arms out to the sides now, and then come back up. From Midaki Pavasana, now we're bringing the hands underneath the thighs, palms facing upwards. Siddha Samadhi Asana. Visualize Paramashiva in your inner space here, and then rise up. Pull the feet back in. You're going to open them up like you're opening up a book. Let's say it's the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, 308 asanas, okay? Open up, press the knees down, and then the release. Hands come to the knees. Suck the stomach in and up as best you can as you gaze up to the third eye. Karpata Trukasana. And then release. You can bring the toes down, heels come up as best you can, okay? So toes down, heels up. Hands come into Bindu Mudra on tops of the knees. Suck the stomach in and up, gaze to the third eye. Bharadavasana. And then release. Bring the right foot to the perineum. Left foot to the chest. Hip opener, not knee torquer. Samanasana. Gaze to the third eye. Release. Foot comes over top of the shoulder. Extend the opposite leg out straight. Gaze up to the third eye here. Apanasana. And then release. Left heel to the perineum now. Right foot to the chest. Apanasana, or Samanasana on the other side. Apanasana now. Foot over top of the shoulder. Extend that other leg up straight. Gaze to the third eye. And release. You're going to cross the right knee over top of the left. So bend the left knee and stack one knee over top of the other. Both hands on tops of the knees. Gazing to the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself as the face of a cow in Gomukhasana. Sheetkati Kumaka moving forward. Inhaling with the tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. That's it, yes. Bring the hands to the big toes. Still Shikari Kumbhaka moving forward. Gaze to the nose. Visualize the Rishika Anasuya. Suck the stomach in and up. Hold that visualization. Interlace the fingers behind. Lean forward and down into Anasuyasana 2. And then rise up. Uncross the feet. Right foot flat down on the ground. Left foot to the perineum. Hands are on respective knees. Puff that chest out. Your Lord Garuda. Garudasana 2. Then rise up onto the heel. Perineum is down right on top of that left heel. Twist outside that raised knee. Interlace the fingers. Gaze up to the third eye. Visualize Sage Narada and Naradasana. And then release. Come back down. Left foot on top of the right thigh. Reach the right hand towards the big toe. Left hand comes around, holds onto the shin. Gaze to the nose. Matsya. Pidakasana. Visualizing Matsya. And then release. Left knee comes over top of the left, or the right. So you're just sliding that knee over. Hands stay on top of the knees. Gaze to the nose. Visualize yourself as the face of a cow. Gomukhasana. Then hands come to the toes. Anasuyasana. Suck that stomach in and up. Relax your shoulders down though. And then release. Interlace the fingers behind. Hold that visualization. Rishika Anasya. And then rise up again. Left foot flat onto the ground. Pull the heel close to the perineum. Hands on the respective knees. Puff the chest out. Your Lord Garuda in Garudasana 2. And then rise up. Sit down onto that right heel this time. Twist outside the raised left knee. Interlace the fingers. Gaze up to the third eye. Visualize Sage Narada. Naradasana. And then lower down. Right foot on top of the left thigh. Right hand to the left shin. Left hand to the left toe. Matsya Pidakasana. Release. Then from here, you can keep the right foot where it is, or you can bend it, take it down, and press the heel up against the perineum. Okay, whatever works for your flexibility. Either way, place the left foot on top of and on the other side of that thigh. Twist the right elbow outside that knee. Keep the right hand at the right ear. Gaze up to the third eye, visualizing Goraknath in Matsyendrasana 1. Then extend the right hand down, left hand up. Kubasana, visualize yourself as a camel. Left hand down, still gazing to the third eye. Matsyendrasana 2. And then release. Come back around, neutral position, extend the right leg out straight, bend the left knee, and then place the right foot on the other side of that left thigh. Right hand comes behind, left elbow outside the raised right knee, hand to the ear, back hand planted, gaze to the third eye, Matsyendrasana 1. Left hand down, right hand up. Kubasana, right hand down, both hands down, Matsyendrasana 2 on the other side. And then unwind. We've opened up our hips here. We're ready to move into Padmasana. Stack those feet on top of the opposite thighs as best you can. Hands on top of the knees. Inhale, pressing the tongue up against the back of the teeth now in Shitali Kumukha. Engage all three bandhas. Visualize Paramashiva in Padmasana. And then release. From here, cross the hands, hold on to the opposite big toes, Prana Mudra. Gaze to the nose, visualizing Parvati, Padmasana 2. And then unwind. Place your hands ever so gently, easily, in between the thighs and lift the body up off the ground as best you can. Visualize yourself as a rooster in Kukutasana, and then lower down. From here, release the hands. You're going to rise up onto the knees. Hands come facing, or the fingers come facing towards the body. Lean forward down, find some leverage, lift the body up off the ground. Baddha Kekiasana. Do the best you can to find some balance. Play with it. And then extend the legs back right away if you can. Into Mayurasana, visualize yourself as a peacock here. And then you can lower down. Some may say collapse down. Forehead comes down, feet bladed out. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Makarasana, visualize yourself as a crocodile. Then hands to the chest. Lift the thighs up off the ground as best you can. Visualize yourself as a locust in Shalavasana. And then hold on to the tops of the feet. Pull them behind the butt or towards the butt, outside of the hips in Ustrasana, our asana of the year. And then improve that grip. Kick the body up. Open up the chest. Gaze towards the third eye. Dhanurasana. Visualize yourself as a bow here as you gaze to the third eye. Then release. Press your body up onto your knees. Untuck the toes. Hands on top of the knees. Take a deep inhalation. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji, our 100th asana. Here we go. Moving forward. Onto our elbows. Interlace the fingers. Crown of the head comes down. Walk the knees up. Feet towards the body. Keep the knees towards the chest. Gohiyasana. Then from there, extend the legs up towards the ceiling as best you can. Sirshasana. 2 asanas there. That's it. Give it an attempt. And then lower down. Nice and slow, nice and controlled as best you can. Okay, from there you can cross your feet and then uncross them. And we're going to hold on to the backs of the calves. Bhastrika Kumukha moving forward. Short bursts through the nose while you're here. Gaze to the third eye, Phodiyasana. Extend those legs up. Release the legs. Hold on to the opposite. Shoulders behind you. Chest stays up. Visualize yourself as a mace in Parigasana. And then elbows down. Feet stay up. Naukasana. Visualize yourself as a boat crossing that ocean of samsara. And then rise up. Scoop the hands underneath the heels. Pull the feet in towards the chest. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Visualize Rudra in your inner space in Rudrasana. And then feet come flat down. Lay down on the back. Drive those hips up towards the ceiling. Tuck the chin down naturally into Jalandhara Bandha. Visualizing Swamiji, Unmukha Pita 2. Then extend those feet out. Open up the feet, the hands towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale. Intermission time. Shakti Chalan Mudra. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti. Pull it up from the base of the spine all the way to the Sahasrara chakra. And then unclutch in Shavasana. Visualizing Swamiji. Great. And then roll over and slowly rise up. PVK is done quickly. 17 minutes, not bad. From here, we're moving into the DVK. We're on a good pace, everybody. Nicely done. From here, we're going to begin the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, 200 asanas more, equaling that 308. You can first sit any way you like. Your legs can be like this even. Yata Sanistashan. While you're here, just make sure those hands are in Bindu Mudra, or back to Samana Kumika, moving forward until mentioned otherwise, okay? Then from there, you're crossing your feet, for sure, okay? In Sama Asana, hands stay on top, Bindu Mudra as best you can, gazing forward, and then release. Keep the hands facing downwards. A bunch of asanas very similar. Beware of the gazes, how they switch, or the visualizations. Sometimes the hands stay the same and the body stays the same. From here, we're going to pull the left heel to the perineum, right foot to on top of that. Muktasana, hands stay down, gaze to the nose. Visualize you've just been liberated by Swamiji. Not a bad visualization. Then from here, you're just switching the gaze to the third eye. Siddhasana. You're manifesting all of the powers. Change that visualization, manifest those powers. Okay? Then hands stay as they are. Engage all three bandhas. Inhale deeply before you do. Gaze towards the ground, the pramana specifically says in Siddhi Asana. And then release. Hands stay opened up into Bindu Mudra. Gaze is up to the third eye. Rudrasana 2, you're visualizing Lord Rudra in your inner space. And then keep the hands as they are. Gaze towards the tip of the nose. Santa Duna Asana. Embody the state and space of tranquility. Good. And then you're going to move into Siddhasana 2. Left hand comes on top of the right. Visualizing you're placing one lotus leaf on top of another lotus leaf. In Siddhasana 2. And then release. You're going to bring one, or both hands rather, up to the face. Take a deep inhalation first. Pinkies beneath the lower lips, ring fingers above the upper lips, middle fingers to the nose, index over the eyes, thumbs up against the ears. You're closing out all the five senses, internally visualizing that you're manifesting the sankalpa that you created. It's in the space of creation in Bandha Yoni Asana. Then release the hands, come down. Keep them into Bindu Mudra. Forward, visualize asana. And then hands stay as they are. Final one here, visualizing Sage Valmika as we gaze up to the third eye. Okay, then we're placing one foot on top of the opposite thigh. Okay, hands stay on top of the knees, gazing towards the tip of the nose. Visualize the Yoni Mandala. This is Yoni Mudrasana. And then all we're doing is changing the gaze to the third eye to experience Yoni Asana. And then we'll release, unclutch. We're going to bring our feet together. Soles of the feet together, interlace the fingers around the toes, suck the stomach in and up, visualize Kalabhairava, gaze to the nose, Bhadrasana 3, and then release. From here, you're just going to bring the left hand to the left knee, right hand up to the nose, close the left nostril with the index finger, inhale. Visualize yourself as an Agori as you gaze up to the third eye, close the left or the right nostril, exhale out of the left in Agordasana. Nicely done. Lower down onto the elbows. Feet stay as they are. Rest the chin on the palms. Visualize yourself as an elephant drinking water in Canary Pavasana. Suck the stomach up in Uddiyana Bandha to do so. And then rise up. You're going to wrap the hands around the legs, feet together, interlace the fingers, slightly lift them up off the ground into Pada Asana. Okay, lower the feet down. Get ready. From here, we're going to lift up, scoop our hands underneath the feet. Pull them up towards the chin into Gopi Chandasana. Okay, so the toes are coming just towards the throat mainly, and then you're starting to pull the feet up towards the chin first. Okay, Gopi Chandasana, and then releasing towards the chin, and then finally pulling the feet up towards the face, so the hands are coming up towards the forehead. So nice little hip flexor openers here, and then from there you're going to bring one foot up over top of the respective shoulders. Okay, from Bhishistasana to Bhujasana. We're moving. So scoop those hands underneath. If you can, interlace the fingers around the head and visualize yourself as a cobra. And then release the hands. You're going to bring them beneath and around the butt. Kalyanasana, gazing towards the tip of the nose. Some flexibility required here. Do the best you can. And then release. Okay, from here we're going to cross or bend the left leg and sit on top of that left heel. Right knee is bent on top. Left hand and right hand on opposite knees, okay? Moving forward, Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling, restricted inhalation through the nose. Ocean-like sound you should be hearing, okay? All right, moving from Shankatasana, let that left heel slide out to the hips. Place both hands on tops of the knees. Gaze straight forward, but suck the stomach in and up. Dhenukasana, and then release. You're gonna bring the right foot to the left hip, and then the left foot towards the right knee. Wrap the right arm around, or left arm around. Right hand comes to the knee. Spine is tall. Twist around. And then unwind. From here, hold on to the big toes. Lean forward and down. Gaze towards the nose. Machendrasana 1 and Machendrasana 2. Then rise up. Release the hands. Keep the feet as they are. One hand on top of the left. Suck the stomach in and up. Guru Asana. And then release. Same thing on the other side. So bend that right foot. Sitting on top of that heel. Left knee is on top. Shankatasana again. Hands are on tops of the opposite knees. And then release that heel out. Knees are stacked right on top of one another. Heels outside of the respective hips. Hands on top of the knees. Suck the stomach in and up. Dhenukasana. And then you're going to drag the left foot over top of the opposite hip. So like Padmasana, but one foot on the hip, the other is on the knee. Okay? Reach the right arm around the back, left hand to the knee, spine tall, twist around, gaze up to the third eye, Machendrasana. And then release, come all the way around. Hold on to the big toes, lean forward and down as best you can, gaze to the nose, Machendrasana 2. And then rise up. Place the hands on tops of the right knee this time. Clasp them, just like we did with our Sankalpa. All three bandhas engaged. Visualize your Guru in Guru Asana. And then release. You can uncross the legs from here. Hug the knees, holding onto the forearms. Parshvasana. And then tuck the chin down. Gaze to the nose. Bodha Shokasana. And then release. You're going to wrap the arms underneath the thighs. Kurukatasana as you gaze towards the tip of the nose. And then cross right foot over top of the left. Visualize sage Sumati and Sumati Asana. And then extend both legs forward. From here, interlace the fingers. Lift the hands up above the head. All three bandhas engaged. Dandasana. And then release. Lean forward and down. Hold on to the big toes. Arambha Asana specifically mentions the pramana. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold the breath and exhale through the left. Experiencing Nadi Shodhana in Arambhasana. And then rise up. From here, slightly bend the knees. Reach the hands underneath the legs and lean forward and down. And then rise back up. Moving from Bidokasana, bring the feet together. Palms are facing upwards. Jalandhari Pavasana as you lean forward and down. And then rise up. Right foot and extended forward. From here, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, visualizing prana flow from the soles of the feet all the way to the Sahasrara chakra. First, try your best to lift the right foot up over top of the head. See if you can manifest that power. Lean forward and down. Urdhva Paschimottanasana. If you can't get over the head, just keep it over the shoulder. And then right away, you're going to fall down onto your back. Anantasana. Foot is over top of the head still. And then roll over onto your left side. Elbows down. Ankushasana. And then back to center. And rise back up. Oh, first, hug your knees. Hug your knees in Drishasana, and then we're going to rise back up. A little nicer to do it that way. Keep the right foot extended forward, and then lift the left leg up over top of the head. Urdhva Paschimottanasana on the other side. Lean forward and down, hold on to the feet. And then rise back up and fall back. Anantasana again. Foot is behind the head as best you can. Lean over onto the right side, onto the right elbow. And then come back to a neutral spine position. Keep that left leg over top of the foot though, because we're bringing our right up too. Yoga Nidrasana. Better believe it. Interlace those fingers beneath the butt. And then release. Keep the legs over top of respective shoulders. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Good. And then release. And then from here, legs are still down. You're going to keep the knees up against the chest and feet up towards the ceiling. Extend the hands out to the sides. Kochaki Asana. And then bring the feet down. Extend the feet out. Arms are extended out to the sides. Twist the head to the right. From here, Jatara Parivritti, 1, 2, and 3. Extend the legs to the left. Hold on to the left toe as the legs are straight out. Release the left toe. Hold on to the right. Left leg comes down. Still gazing to the right. This is Jatara Parivritti, 1, 2, 3. Come back to a neutral spine position. This time, knees are bent, gazing to the left. Extend the right leg out. Hold on to the big toe. Release the right toe. Hold on to the left toe. Left leg is extended out to the side. And then come back to a neutral spine position. Good. From here, reach for the ankles. Drive the hips up as best you can. Holding on to the ankles. Vipadapitam, and then release. Bring the hands down onto the mat, flat, fingers facing towards the feet. Lift the body up, Paryankasana, do the best you can. And then get a nice release there, and then slowly lower down. Hug, hands to the shoulders, knees towards the chest, Svottanasana, and then hands come flat onto the ground. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling. 2 asanas here. First, circle your feet, Viparita Karani 1, and then keep the feet still towards the ceiling, Viparita Karani 2. And then lower the feet down towards the ground. Interlace the fingers behind you, Langalasana. And then release the hands. Hold on to the big toes. Saita Pachimattanasana, holding here. And then you're going to slowly release and hold on to the big toes still. Saita Pachimattanasana. Next is we're opening up the feet nice and wide. And then back to center. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Supta Konasana, hips up high, spread the feet out wide. That was it. Then bring the feet back together, lower down, spread the feet out wide here. And then bring the feet back together, Supta Parangustasana. And then bring the feet down, cross them into Padmasana, lower the knees, hands holding opposite elbows, Matsyasana. And then release the hands, one on top of the other, Parusuramasana. And then bring the hands to the hips, raise the hips up towards the ceiling, Sarvangasana. And then lower the hips down, uncross the legs. Keep both knees bent, one foot on top of the opposite thigh. Elbows are straight. Raise up. Visualize yourself as a scorpion, Vrichikasana, and then lower down. Same thing, other side. Rise up, Vrichikasana. Visualize yourself as a scorpion, and then release. You're going to interlace the fingers behind the head, holding the opposite head. Elbow to knee, switch sides again and again. Vrishapada Kshepasana. And then let the body come down. Hands to the sides. Lift up the right knee. Bring it to the right ear and down. Left knee to left ear. Mrottanasana. And down. Nicely done. From here, get ready. We're going to bring our feet flat onto the ground, and we're going to lift the body up right away, standing up tall. Vrikasana. Visualize yourself as a wolf here. I'm going to face this way myself. Come back down and up. One more time. Vrikshasana. Good. And from here, we're going to lower the body down and do a big somersault all the way onto our stomach as best you can. Nicely done. Okay. From here, untuck the toes. You're specifically going to inhale. Visualize that you're inhaling. Whistling sound. You're carrying warriors into the battle for Dharma. Tuck the toes. We're going to jump our feet in and out in Dehal Ulangana. First pressing the body up. In and out, again and again. Good. Then plant the hands flat on the ground, walking backwards and forwards. Jatyasana. Visualize that you're manifesting the power of remembering your past births. Rise up. Open up the palms. You're going to lean back nice and big into a karna, and then we're going to bring our hands next to our sides. Sarpasana. Visualize your Kundalini. Kundalini is Devi, raising up, spiraling up towards the Sahasrara chakra. Then lean forward and down. Hold the knuckles underneath the toes. Ustra Sadhanasana. You're visualizing yourself as a camel as you walk back and forth. And then from here, hands underneath the toe or the heels. Ashvasana. So you're holding underneath the toes, then underneath the heels. Second time around, visualize yourself as a horse. And then rise up. Kapaltanikasana. Interlace the fingers behind. Open up the chest as best you can. Visualize yourself as a diving bird. And then come back to a neutral spine position. Heels together, feet bladed out. Palms together. Lean towards the left. Right heel comes off the ground. Offer some flowers to either side. Good. Then keep the palms together. Elbows together. Lean forward slightly. Khadgasana. Visualize yourself as a rhinoceros. And then from here, you're leaning and sitting down and then standing up. Uttamottama. Again and again. Down and up. Again and again. From here, Musalasana, jumping up right away. Visualize yourself as a mace. Good. And then from there, hold on to the foot. Bring it to the navel and squat down, switching sides again and again. Good. From here, specifically, hold on to the right knee. Hand is in a fist, though. Hand is to the side, Akarna here. Then release the leg. You're coming down as best you can onto that left knee. And then rise up. You bet that's it. And then bring the right foot to the inner thigh. Hands to the sides. Good. And then wrap the leg around that knee. From right leg is over. Right arm is under. Palms together. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda. And then release. Right foot over top of the knee. Reach down. Hold on to the big toes. Extend the leg out to the side. Let's all move towards our left in Dhruvasana. Nicely done. And then from here, Trivikramasana. Do the best you can. Lift the leg up over top of the head and sit and stand. Good, and then we're going to try the same sequence on the other side. Tandavasana, lower down on the, or first, hold on to that left knee, hand is in a fist, arm to the side. From that, extend the left leg out, sit and stand on the right leg alone as best you can. Left foot comes to the inner thigh, hands by the sides. Ekpadasana, then wrap that left foot forward or around that knee. Left arm over, left leg over, left arm under, palms together. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda and release. Hand or left foot over top of the thigh, hands besides the thighs, and then extend the left leg out. Hold on to the big toe and rotate over. Those slides need to keep up with us. We're going too fast. Good, then lift the leg up over top of the head. Sit and stand, Trivikramasana. Do the best you can. Nicely done. Then open up the hands, heels together, knees slightly bent, our final carnage. Just nice, deep relaxation. And then interlace the fingers underneath the thighs, sit into a deep squat position, Gorakanjali Asana. And then bring the feet slightly, or bring the hands first underneath the butt. Okay. Feet slightly together, Bhairuvasana. And then you can separate the feet one more time, Varahasana. Okay, from here, palms are together. Raise them up above the head, towards the back. Varahasana. Good. And then bring the hands down, holding on to the big toes. Pripittasana. Okay. Hips are up to the levels of the knees. And then hands flat on the ground. Lean forward and down, arms towards the backs, or knees towards the backs of the arms. Visualize yourself as a crow, Bakasana. And then from here, Shustaka Kapalyasana. Lower the crown of the head down. Lift the legs up. Cross them into Padmasana or as best you can. And then slowly lower down into Guptasana. Hands are on tops of the thighs. Get ready. We're trying to press our body up right away into a handstand. If you can't do a handstand, just try and kick. We've got 2 asanas here. Lift the body up. First asana, you're keeping the body vertical. Visualize yourself as a tree. Second one, gaze to the third eye, Shibu Asana. 2 asanas there. And then lower down to a tall plank position. From here, right away, lower the body down and up. Visualize yourself as a fish in Matsyasana, and then lower down. Untuck the toes. You're going to bring the hands to the sides. Lift the chest up. Rotate from side to side. Sarvapasana. Visualize yourself as a snake. Then elbows come down. Rest the chin in the hands. Nirlambanasana. Visualize yourself completely supported by Swamiji and life. Elbows come down. Hands down. Lift up the toes. Tilt the head back towards the head. Chatrasana. Good. And then come down. Bring the knees down. Extend the hips back. Vajrasana. Visualize yourself as Indra's weapon of destruction, indestructibility. And then rise up into that Gajasana position. Stomp one hand down and alternate. Meshasana. You're visualizing yourself as a ram here. Good. Ajasana. Do the best you can. You're trying to kick the legs up and lower the forehead down. Yes, nicely done. Then from here, you can lower down all the way onto the knees. Adjust the heels. Bring them in. Hands on top of the knees. Interlace the fingers behind and extend the arms up into Angamotama. Good. Then bring the hands down. Knees together, feet separated. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana 3. And then toes together, knees separated. Visualize yourself, or first place the hands underneath the ankles. Visualize yourself in the abode of a temple, Ananda Mandir Asana. Then release. You're going to drag the hands up towards the knees. Suck the stomach in and up, Mandukasana 2. And then bring the hands down. Tuck the toes. Nadasimhasana. Visualize yourself as Nadasim. As you inhale, stick the tongue out. Gaze towards the tip of the nose. Good. And then rise up. Toes tucked. Hands to the face. Hook the thumbs underneath the tops of the teeth. Inhale through the right nostril specifically. Exhale out of the mouth. Bisraka Asana. Nicely done. Bring the hands underneath the armpits. Give yourself a scratch as you gaze up to the third eye. Makadasana. You're a monkey. Woo-hoo. Good. Wrap the arms behind the back. Toes tucked still. Visualize yourself with the strength of a diamond in Vajra Sangara Asana. Good. Then release. Hands come down to the sides, untuck the toes, suck the stomach in and up as best you can. Kunjasana. And then hands come to the knees, rise up and cross the feet. Kurmasana, visualize yourself as a turtle with the ability to live for hundreds and hundreds of years as you gaze to the nose. Same posture, but we're going to switch that visualization. Yogasana, you're specifically supposed to visualize yourself uniting with the divine Paramashiva, with our Guru, of course, Paramashiva himself. Then Vijogasana, rise up, reach for the backs of the calves. Hands come down, legs still stay crossed. Good. Then uncross the feet. Keep the knees closer, somewhat together. Lean back, hold on to the backs of the ankles, push the hips forward. Ustrasana 2. Visualize yourself as a camel. Then lower down right away. Stay with us. Jatyasana 2. Back comes all the way down to the ground. And then if you can, Viratasana. You're coming up and down without touching or using your hands. If you need to use your hands, that's fine. But do the best you can to come up and down. All right, Kapotasana. Tough one here. Bring the hands flat onto the ground while you're on your back, knees bent. Lift the head up, bring the crown of the head down. Try and walk the hands towards the feet. Deep back bend in a short position. Do the best you can. And then when you're ready, you can slowly unwind. Rise up into Vara Asana. On your knees, hug the arms across the chest, tall position. Then come down onto the forehead. Left hand down, right hand down on top, forehead is down, toes are tucked, and then release the hands. Interlace the fingers, bring the crown of the head down. We're going for another inversion here as you tuck the toes, raise up the knees, and rise up to a tall vertical position. Mundasana, here you're visualizing yourself specifically as a lopped tree. And then lower down, nice and slow, nice and controlled. Nicely done. Just keep the forehead down, hands next to the ears. Good. Andasana, and then rise up, or so you can extend your feet back. Arms are out in front of you. Extend them out towards the ceiling, or towards the front. Feet come up off the ground. Viparita Salabhasana, visualize yourself as a locust. And then specifically, hands by the sides. Forehead is down. Lift the legs up alone. Kapalasana. Another challenging one coming up. Place the hands flat onto the ground. Tuck the chin so it's down on the ground. And try and lift up the legs over top of the head, all the way down onto the ground in front of you, if you can. That's it, give it a shot. And then slowly try and unwind and rise up onto your knees. Keep the elbows close to the body, huddle down, visualize yourself as a sparrow in Katakasana. And then tuck the toes, rise up. You're going to kick the legs up over top of the head, visualize yourself as a scorpion in Vrishikasana 2. And then lower down after you've given it a shot. Then you're going to place the hands down, left heel underneath the left perineum, right heel up underneath the right side. Inhale deeply, forcefully through the nose. Vrishasana, visualize yourself as a bowl, and then press the body up. Keep the feet crossed, elbows straight as best you can, low lasana, and then come down onto the right side. Right heel underneath the perineum, left heel outside of the hip. Good. Then tuck the toes. You're going to step the left foot forward, hands on respective knees. Balaguna Asana. Visualize yourself as one of the 84 siddhas. Then step forward. Bring the hands underneath the thighs. Hold on to the ankles. Grahasana. Visualize yourself as a planet. Release the hands. Step the left foot back. So the right knee is raised. Hands on respective knees. Balaguna Asana on the other side. And then stepping together. Toes down. Hands on top of the knees. Utkatasana. And then let the knees come out to the sides on your toes, still holding opposite elbows. Vajrasangara Asana 2. And then bring the legs back. From here, you're going to step the right foot on top of the right fingers and the left foot on top of the left fingers. Sink the hips down, open up the chest. Anilasana, visualize you're able to live off of prana alone. Good. Then release the feet. Place the hands over top of them so you're stepping on the palms. You've just put on a pair of padukas. Walk the length and breadth of your yoga mat in Padukasana. Good. Then plant the hands flat on the ground. Kick the body up again and again in Kukutodana. Do the best you can. And then rise up all the way in a handstand. You're trying to dance. Viparita Tantriyasana. Good. And then keep the legs flat down, palms down, moving into our next asana, Kunjata Asana. Visualize you've got one trunk hanging down, so one hand to the ear, other hand flat onto the ground. Other hand down, other hand up. Kunjata Asana. Good. Then from here, deep squat, hands come around the ankles. Visualize yourself as the Kadamba tree in Kadamba Asana. And then let the hips come down finally in Pavana Muktasana. Wrap the arms around, holding on to the opposite forearms. Then from here, extend the legs out. Plenty of time. Right foot over top of the head as best you can. If you can't keep it there, that's fine. Just keep the leg over top of the shoulder, okay? But either way, extend that leg up. Lift up the body, gaze up to the third eye, Chakrasana. Nicely done. Keep the right leg over top of the shoulder. Hold on to the right big toe. Pull that foot back. Reach for the left toe. Keep pulling. Visualize you're pulling back a bow, Dhanurasana 2. Let go of the bow, of the left bow, I should say. Hold on to the right foot. Pull it over top of the shoulder again. Left foot over top of the right. Lean forward. Lift the body up. Extend the legs out to the sides. You can gaze forward or to the feet. Ashtavakrasana. Visualize yourself as a crane. Come back. Sitting down on the sitting bones. Left foot to the top of the right thigh. Right hand comes underneath. Slide the elbow underneath. Left hand on top of the knee. Pranasana. Visualize you're flowing with prana. I know we are. And then come back. You can keep the left foot where it is or keep the heel bent at the pranam. Either way, bring that right foot over top of the thigh, just like in the Pratama Vinyasa Krama. But this time as we wrap and twist our body around, we're wrapping our hands, trying to interlace them. Parshva Matsendrasana. And then come back to a neutral spine position. Nicely done. Extend the right leg forward this time. Chakrasana on the other side. Left leg comes up over top of the head. If you can't keep it there, nothing wrong with that. Just keep it over top of the shoulder, but give it a shot. Bring the hands down. Press the body up off the ground. Gaze to the third eye. And then lower down. Keep the left hand to the left big toe. Reach for the right toe. Pull back that bow. Visualize yourself pulling back a bow. Dhanurasana 2. Release the bow. Hold on to the foot. Lift it up over top of the shoulder. Right foot on top of the left. Lean forward. Extend the legs out to the side. Chest comes down. Again, you can gaze forward or towards the feet. Ashtavakrasana. Come back to a neutral spine position. Right foot comes up on top of the left thigh. Left hand underneath that left knee. And right hand on top of the right knee. Pranasana. Then good. Then come back through. You're going to keep the right heel to the pranam. Extend the left leg forward. Reach for the big foot. The big foot. The only foot forward. Oh, sorry. I forgot one, did I? Yeah. Nicely done. Thanks, team. Okay, keep that heel close to the pranam. Left foot comes over top on the other thigh. Twisting towards your left. Right elbow. Trying to wrap around that knee. Clasp the hands. That's why you got Sangha, right? Good, so you don't blow records. And then come back around. Extend both feet out. Right heel close to the pranam. Left foot extended out. Reach for the toes. Lean forward and down. Just keep Mula Bandha engaged in Ardha Paschimottanasana. And then rise up. You're going to bend the right knee so the foot comes outside of the hip. And then hold on to the foot of the left leg and extend it up straight as best you can towards the forehead. Visualize yourself as a crane in Kraunchasana. And then release. Extend the right foot forward. Keep the left heel at the perineum now. Lean forward. Ardha Paschimottanasana, and then rise up. Left foot to the outside of the left heel, or the left hip rather, sorry. Hold on to the right foot. Extend up towards the ceiling. You see Krishnapal, Demena, and then release. Right foot to the perineum. Left foot is on top of that. Okay? Moving into Svastikasana. While you're here, hands are on tops of the thighs, gaze towards the tip of the nose. Embody the space of health, wealth, being, prosperity. Then specifically hiding the heels. Okay? Gorakshasana, visualize Sage Goraknath. Tuck the chin down, gaze towards the tip of the nose. And then place the left foot on top of the right thigh. You're going to take a deep inhalation through the nose. Place the hands up on top, bring the hands towards the face. Pinkies beneath the lower lips, index above the upper lips. Middle finger up against the nose, index over the eyes, thumbs up against the ears, closing out all senses. Hold the visualization on your third eye here specifically. Visualize Tejas flowing there in Bhagasana 2. And then release. One foot is on opposite thigh. Bring the other up as well into Padmasana. Okay, moving forward. Curl the tongue. Inhale through that curled tongue, okay? Then you're going to have the hands facing upwards outside of the hips, palms facing upwards, Yogasana 2, gazing towards the nose. And then place the hands flat on the ground. Urdhva Kukutasana, lift the body up, visualize yourself as a rooster here, and then lower down again. Good, place the hands in between the thighs, flat onto the ground, okay? So at first you're not lifting the body up, you're just placing the hands here, specifically it said in Siddha Harataliasana. And then from here you're lifting the body up. Hamshasana, you're trying to lift the thighs or the legs up all the way up so the thighs come towards the shoulders. Visualizing yourself as a swan. And then keep the hands in between the legs. You're going to lean forward, extend the arms out beneath you as the hands are interlaced. Forehead comes down. Visualize yourself as a bow again, Karmukasana. And then lower down. Keep the hands in between the legs and try and reach the hands all the way through and hold the neck in Kurmasana 2. Okay, and then you can tuck the chin down in Granthi Bedasana. And then you're going to roll down onto your back, Uttana Kurmasana. So roll down onto your back and then rock your body up. Good. Keep one hand in between the thighs. Left hand or right hand, doesn't matter. Other hand is going to hold that wrist though. Pangu Kukutasana. So you're trying to press the body up only onto one hand. Do the best you can. And then lower down. Same thing, other side. Pangu Kukutasana. Visualize yourself as a rooster. Good. And then slowly lower down. Now we can bring our hands back through. And then place the elbows down on the thighs. Interlace the fingers. Let the thumbs come beneath the throat. Rest the chin or the head there. And then rise up. Place one hand on top of the other. Inhale through your beak. Okay, you inhale through the beak. All three bundles engaged. Gaze towards the tip of the nose. Nicely done. Padmasana 3. Then release. Hands come on tops of the knees. Inhale through your beak. Gaze towards the tip of the nose. Visualizing Paramashiva in Padmasana 4. Good. Then Karmukasana. Hold on to your big toe with the right hand. Left hand is to the knee. Pull back the bow as you press the left hand away. Visualize you're pulling a bow. Yes. And then right hand comes to the right knee. Left hand to the left toe. Circle the toe and then pull it back. Karmukasana 2. Good. If you've got that ability, wrap the arms around the back. Hold on to the big toes. Either way, if you can't clasp the big toes, keep the arms behind the back, okay? Inhale through your beak. Tuck the chin down. Suck the stomach in and out. Visualize yourself as a bow. Karmukasana 3. And then release the bandhas, but keep the hands behind the back, okay? Gaze up to the third eye. Mula bandhas engaged. Dridasana. And then lower your back down onto the ground. Nagrasana. Hands are still behind. If you've got that ability, holding on to the big toes. Visualize yourself as a snake either way. And then place the hands flat onto the ground. Or the feet flat onto the ground so you can fall down onto the back. Wrap the arms around the shins. Hug yourself into a ball. And then place the feet flat onto the ground. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Relax for a moment. Urdhva Pavanasana. Good. And then reach the hands towards the backs of the heels. Fingers are pointing up, palms pointing up. Fingertips beneath the heels. Drive the hips up towards the ceiling. Visualize yourself as an ape here. Good. And then slowly lower those hips down. Okay, but first actually, don't lower the hips down. Keep the hands beneath the lower butt. Okay? And then you're going to step the feet back towards the edge of the mat. So extend the feet out, Keep the chin tucked. Uttana Sikipitakasana. Legs are extended straight out. Good. Then keep the hands beneath the thighs. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling. Hands beneath the thighs. Narakasana. Visualize you're blissfully traveling through hell. And then bring the hands, or bring the feet rather, slightly down on an angle. Tirya Naukasana. Visualize yourself as a boat. And then bring the feet back up. And release the hands flat onto the ground. Keep those legs raised up as high as you can. Why do you want to keep them up high? You're the Kailasa flag, Dvajasana. Stand here proudly. We just completed 308 asanas within 1 hour. Now we have. Now that we're in Mrittasanam, open up the palms, keep them faced up towards the ceiling. I think we deserve a little bit of unclutching here. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Nice long, deep exhalation out of the mouth. Mrittasanam. While you're here, visualize you're being liberated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam himself. Close your eyes, unclutch the body completely. See your soul reaching Kailasa, going beyond body, beyond mind, thanks to the blessings of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Good. And then let's slowly come back into the body. We're already going to start wiggling our fingertips and toes. Elbows, and bend the knees. Bring the heels flat onto the ground towards the butt. And then lift the knees up. You're hugging them towards your chest. You can lift the head up off the ground. Give yourself a squeeze. And then lower the feet. And roll over onto your left side. And when you're feeling comfortable and ready, lifting your body up into a comfortable seated position. Nicely done. From here, as we do with all Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga rituals, we'll close this ritual with a prayer and a deep space of gratitude towards Paramashiva, towards the avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and a deep space of excitement as well, because we just got a record, yes. Okay, inhaling. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukar Paramastu Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much for tuning in and participating with us on this International Day of Yoga. As always, we close out our session with a deep space of gratitude, love, respect towards our Master, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, for making this day so grand, this event so grand, for manifesting this amazing celebration through us here at Adi Kailasa and all of you who have joined us online, whether two-way or through any of our streaming networks on Facebook, YouTube, etc. With this, we'll close out today's session. If you want to stay tuned for any final words, you may do so. Oh, we have a few announcements. I thought we might have a few announcements. Okay, the first announcement, I'm assuming, is what we just completed. For everybody that's with us online or here in Adi Kailasa, give yourselves a round of applause. That was nerve-wracking, but we did it with plenty of time. We're still relaxing here. We got 3 minutes to go. You know, we ended Shavasana about 10 minutes ago. We have to change the record for most asanas in 51 minutes or something like that, right?
No, but seriously, great job for anybody out there that joined us. Again, whether two-way or watching via the live streams, if you stuck with us and this was your first time, nicely done. That is not easy to do. I know it's a lot, but it is an amazing experience, especially if the more and more that you practice it. So very well done, and looking forward to sharing the sequence with all of you moving forward. We've got you here in Adi Kailasa. Can we adjust her audio for us?
Maximum traditional asanas performed in 1 hour by a group in Asia as well as in India Book of Records. Now, India Book of Records is committed to record making since more than 15 years as on today's date. It is registered with the Government of India. IBR is affiliated to Asia Book of Records and follows Asian Protocol of Records as per the consensus arrived at the meeting of the chief editors of National Record Book, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Asia Book of Records is a platform where the record holders of all major national book of records, including India Book of Records, Vietnam Book of Records, Indochina Book of Records, Laos Book of Records, and Nepal Book of Records, meet to compare, compete, and claim the title of Asia Book of Records holder. Today, Asia Book of Records holds a strong database of more than 40,000 entries. Okay, now it's the time to announce the record for both India as well as Asia Book of Records. The record for performing the maximum traditional asanas in 1 hour was set by HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam of Bengaluru, Karnataka. A total of 30 people participated, and they performed 308 traditional asanas, including Sukhasana, Parvatasana, Halipavasana, Nagipava Asana, Kokilasana, Niti Asana, Gaja Asana, and many more other asanas on the International Yoga Day, both online and offline together, as confirmed on June 21, 2022. Thank you so much, and we are happy to congratulate the efforts of Sri Didha Ananda and Swami Nithyananda Paramashivam and the entire team of the ashram. Most importantly, the people who participated in the record attempt, for their commendable efforts, as well as for a wonderful coordination with India and Asia Book of Records in order to eventualize this record event, for contributing to the cause of physical and mental well-being attained through yoga. Thank you so much. Sir, you are on mute. I cannot hear the clappings.
It sounded like you can't hear the clapping, but here in Adi Kailasa, we're ecstatic. Ms. Jaspreet, thank you so much for, we're grateful to receive this award, and thank you so much for being here. It was definitely a pleasure to be a part of this special group manifesting this 308 asana sequence thanks to our Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Your truth is so subtle, but your expression we can't miss it. The laughter, always blissful, your memory my heart is full of. You make the path so much easy, your happening is such a blessing. No more doubts, no more guessing. Nithyananda, you're the one, in oneness you are not one. You allow all to coexist, never give up, only persist. Paramashivam, you're the one, in oneness you are not one. You allow all to coexist, never give up, only persist. As the ultimate pervade all, you're the master gear, the one that moves it all. We invoke you, you stand tall, in remembrance of you one cannot fall. You're the bright light that illuminates all. Har Har Mahadeva, Jai Adideva Shiva Shankara Har Jai Bholenath Shambho Nilakantha Mahamaheshwara Om Sadat Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadeva, Jai Adideva Shiva Shankara Har Jai Bholenath Shambho Nilakantha Mahamaheshwara Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. You're the one, in oneness you are not one. You allow all to coexist, never give up, only persist. Paramashivam, you're the one, in oneness you are not one. You allow all to coexist, never give up, only persist. You bestow the rarest grace, with a glimpse of you all karmas are erased. Your look brims compassion, you overflow towards your devotees' devotion. When you are remembered, all the bonds are severed. You're the purest innocence, untouched by the clever. Your glory is truth and forever. You bestow the bliss fever. Nithyananda, you're the one, in oneness you are not one. You allow all to go.
With this, we would like to thank the Asia Book of Records for being here with us today, providing us with this award. Asia Book of Records certificate of 308 asanas, the most asanas performed, most traditional asanas performed in 1 hour. And we are not capable of doing this, I'm certain, without the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's blessings, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And it's such a wonderful way to celebrate and experience this International Day of Yoga with you all. For everybody else that's joined us across the world, again, whether via YouTube or Facebook, thank you for being here with us as well. For all of the guests of honors that have joined us here today, honorable guests, we appreciate you for being here. India Book of Records for being here with us. Ms. Jaspreet representing them. And again, the maximum traditional asanas performed in 1 hour by a group. Record for performing the maximum traditional asanas in 1 hour was set by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam of Bengaluru, Karnataka,
let's say KAILASA, how about, okay? A total of 30 people. We had much more than 30 people around the world. Thank you all who joined us and performed this 308 traditional asana sequence, including, yes, Sukhasana, Parvatasana, Halipavasana, Nagipavasana. Those were a long time ago now, but Kokilasana, Netyasana, Gajasana, Rikshasana, Vaisyasana, Balalingasana, Padapinanasana, and many more. On this International Yoga Day, both online and offline together, on this June 21st, 2022, it is confirmed. So again, nicely done, everybody here with us in Adi Kailasa and all over the world. One more round of applause for us all and for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And of course, this was the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. Let's not forget though, today we had 2 sequences released, so if you're feeling like you need a little bit more of a workout, we got another 200 asanas to add on to that in the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, the Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, which is the 508 asana sequence. And so if you're new to the Pratama Vinyasa Krama or Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, best way to start is not think about all the asanas that you need to perform. Just jump in and experience it. This is true Hatha Yoga. This is the Shastanga Yoga, the original yoga as originally revealed by Paramashiva in the sacred Agama scriptures. And of course, it wouldn't be the Shastanga Yoga that it is without our Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So thank you again for being here, participating with us all. Looking forward to our next experience on the yoga mat, the Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, and more. With this, Nityanandam, may you be eternally blissful.
Now with this magnificent achievement by the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, of creating the record of performing 308 yogasanas within 1 hour, we move to today's grand release, an amazing gift from Kailasa for humanity in the field of yoga. As part of the divine mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, of reviving the authentic science of yoga based on original sacred revelations by Paramashiva in Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and in the process of standardizing the practice of yoga globally and reviving its authenticity and removing all the dilutions and deviations away from the original context of achieving Paramadvaita, that is oneness with Paramashiva. Kailasa announces and inaugurates the International Hindu Compliance System for Health and Yoga. With the blessings and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University compiled all the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff in the field of yoga as 75 manuals for the humanity. These manuals, as you all can see projected on your screen, form the health and yoga standards of Hindu compliance, which are based directly from the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. We invite the entire global Hindu diaspora and the overall humanity at large to enjoy and benefit from this Hindu compliance standards to make sure they are maintaining highest standards when it comes to health and yoga as per Hinduism. this, we come to the end of today's grand celebration of Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022 on the occasion of International Day of Yoga. We conclude today's event and celebrations with the Purna Mantra. Thank you for joining us today. Nithyanandam.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्
Shiva, Paramashiva, Hara Hara, Hara Hara, Mahadev Nithyananda, Shiva Shiva, Paramashiva. Nithyananda is his name, he's the avatar, he's in the oneness plane, he's the avatar, he's the cosmic truth, he's the avatar, he's eternal youth, he's eternal and pure, he's the avatar, unshakable for sure, he's the avatar, enlightenment is his core, he's the avatar, he's beyond much more. The sacred scriptures sing your glory, the Puranas praise you through stories, the sages seek your grace for mukti, you bestow enlightenment with ease. Yes, you came down, you assumed the form in a small town, in the temples the ultimate you found, now Simhasana with the golden crown. Day and night on a flight, molding life with your might, ground. Pure, he's the avatar, unshakable for sure, he's the avatar, enlightenment is his core, he's the avatar, he's beyond much more. Hara Hara, Hara Hara, Mahadev Nithyananda, Shiva Shiva, Paramashiva. Hara Hara, Hara Hara, Mahadev Nithyananda, Shiva Shiva, Paramashiva. Nithyananda is his name, he's the avatar, he's in the oneness plane, he's the avatar, he's the cosmic truth, he's the avatar, he's eternal youth, he's eternal and pure, he's the avatar, unshakable for sure, he's the avatar, enlightenment is his core, he's the avatar, he's beyond much more. Hara Hara, Hara Hara, Mahadev Nithyananda, Shiva Shiva, Paramashiva. Hara Hara, Hara Hara, Mahadev Nithyananda, Shiva Shiva.